As mentioned earlier, Monstro Land is a continent far and away from the rest of the Mushroom Kingdom. Once a beacon for prosperity in an age past, the surface of Monstro Land is now covered with ruins and overgrowth. Its primary polis was a prodigious civilization known as Monstro City, where representatives of all races would come together for the shared prosperity of the people. Sadly, there is nothing left of this once great municipality. Modern aerial photography indicates no trace of the fabled city. Nature has taken back her continent. Mario and crew wade to the shores of Monstro Land, wet and slightly salty. In an act of Deus Ex Machina, the group's latest mutation provides them with the gift of flight. Well, that was convenient. To the top! Yippee! With renewed spirit and wings graceful and strong, the gang begins their perilous ascent up the Monstro Land cliffside. As it turns out, the sheer wall of rock was hiding some secrets after all. Strange, boxy protrusions periodically jut out from the cliff face in arrogant defiance of the ground far below them. These are not natural. These are man-made. Relics from the past? Mario investigates one to find it inhabited by a group of Monty moles. Waha! I told you there were people living here. An undocumented colony of moles. Typically sneaky. Yeah, but something tells me this isn't the legendary Monstro City. If there's people living here, there could be even more up on the surface. Last one to the top is a Galumba! After ascending the wall that never seemed to end, and disrupting the livelihoods of dozens of Monty moles and rocky wrenches, our amateur pilots finally make it up to flat land. And green is the color of the world before them. Untouched by denizens of the Mushroom Kingdom for decades, Monstro Land can be seen as a veritable paradise. The grass and trees and vines grow skyward, unimpeded. The fresh waters are crystal blue and teeming with aquatic life. The mountains stand tall and proud in their quiet dignity. To preserve the natural beauty of this forgotten land, Princess Peach of the Mushroom Kingdom and King Bowser of the Koopa Kingdom signed a rare and historic joint mandate disallowing anyone from setting foot on Monstro Land. Mario must not have heard the news. A short walk inland from the western edge of the plateau, through a dense network of vines and plant life, Mario and friends emerge into a clearing. In front of them is a sparkling sapphire lake, naturally decorated with emerald foliage and goldenrod skies. Extending into each opposite end of the lake is a dock built using pipework that hasn't been seen in the Mushroom Kingdom for a very long time. Peppering the docks are small towers believed to be designed with the purpose of observing aquatic life and housing local fishermen. Spikes? Yeah, I caught a few thorns trudging through those vines too. No, on the dock. I think I see activity. We're getting warm. Warm, yes, but not hot. For there are only a small handful of spikes peacefully conducting their business on the docks. That's it? We climbed the tallest cliff in the world to lay the smackdown on a grand total of 4 spikes? I don't know, Toad. This place is really nice. Maybe we can hang out here for a while. Below the surface, there must be more. With a splash that perturbed the otherwise tranquil lake waters, our heroes dove below to find much more than they were expecting. Beneath the inconspicuous appearance of the lakeside above is a hidden, compact society of underwater spikes. Using the ingenuity that spikes are known for, it appears that the residents have constructed their mega home out of locally grown coral. Its beauty is exquisite, and its craftsmanship is folky, yet fancy. I'll have to add this to the Mushroom Kingdom Tourism Registrar. Bingo! Oh ho ho! I didn't know spikes could live underwater. This place is built like a maze. They can hide, but they can't run. Because they'd be swimming. Luigi! After drying out, and catching a few rays, the crew heads off in the only direction that isn't cliffs or the way they came. Have I mentioned that Monstro Land holds the record for the highest average elevation and the highest elevation above sea level in the whole Mushroom Kingdom? No joke. Well, here we are now at the base of the tallest and coldest mountain in the kingdom, Pokey Peak. Be sure to pack your parkas and non-slip shoes. We're going around. You can go around. I want to go sledding. Guys, is the snow moving in the distance? It's snowing. Yes, it's moving. Sticker star off, Galumba. I think the snowmen are alive. Ha ha! Looks like we've got snow pokies on the menu. Fighting snow pokies on a tall, icy mountain. What could go wrong? If you need me, I'll be by the fire at base camp. With that, Luigi's hands erupted with flames. It appears the team's latest mutation grants them mastery over fire. Looks like you've got the fire of base camp in your hands now. No more excuses, brother. Mamma mia. The fresh, powdery snow is crunchy to the footsteps, and the chilled air is crisp and dry. Visibility is limited in the snow, but one can make out igloos dotting the frozen plains. Inside these igloos are the snow pokey, a rare variant of the traditional pokey, specially acclimated to the cold temperatures and formidable terrain. One thing that confounds pokey researchers is how the snow variety can often be found in rather confined spaces, considering pokey's size. Unlike traditional pokies, which prefer to range in wide open areas, snow pokies are commonly found dwelling in environments that would otherwise be unaccommodating to their height. It is theorized that snow pokies can actually bend their bodies to slip into passages normally too small or narrow for a straight, rigid pokey. Alas, we may never know. With the igloos emptied, Mario and company make their way to the foot of Pokey Peak. To everyone's chagrin, the face of the mountain is much steeper than it appeared to be from a distance. Not even Mario can jump this one. How am I supposed to go sledding if I can't even get up the mountain? Looks like we're going around after all. Wait, over there. Looks like there's a door. For the first time in our adventure, Mario reads a sign. Chateau Snow? Oh, good. I was looking for a place to take a shat. I hope they have toilet seat warmers. There's probably gonna be a line for the ladies' room. Always is. Wait, isn't the chateau some fancy hoo-ha? Why are we discussing this out here? Let's go in and find out. Through the door at the base of the frozen Alp, the group walks down a long corridor before reaching another door that opens one into the atrium of the chateau. It seems this place is something of an ice hotel. There's snow everywhere in here. Positioned inside the atrium are 3 pipes leading to different floors of the chateau. To the far side of where the group entered is another door leading out to the other side of the mountain. Guess Luigi won't have to walk around after all. On the wall perpendicular to the exits is another door, this one much more ornate and locked tight as a drum. The sign on the door reads, VIPs only. Without a moment of hesitation, Mario immediately goes to open the door, to no avail. Mario, that door says VIP. I don't think we're VIPs around here. Speak for yourself. I'm the most important person these ice worms are ever gonna see. Someone in here must have a key. You guys look for the key. I'm gonna look for a place to squeeze one out. Floor by icy floor, Mario and crew cleared every room of any coins and snow pokies they could find. Toad found a restroom, but the toilet seats weren't heated, so his delicate cheeks got stuck to the porcelain, so he had to use his fire powers to slowly defrost himself into liberation. He didn't flush. Also, I don't know anything about Chateau Snow, so I'm just gonna paraphrase off of this brochure I found in the atrium, if you don't mind. It appears there's a dress code of only wearing white. Good thing our heroes don their flare before entering. Let's see, the pamphlet says the first floor, located above the atrium, is a lavish, ultra-exclusive suite for VIP members only, which we've kind of already been over. But it also mentions that a VIP certificate can be purchased for 6 pink coins. I thought they were red coins. Weird. Moving on. The second floor appears to be dedicated to the economy lodging. It's nice that they have budget options. Imagine being stuck out here in this frozen wasteland and being priced out of a room. Oh, the humanity. But a third floor here is more economy lodging, but because Pokey Peak has a massive hollow crevasse towards its summit, the roof of the third floor acts as a promenade balcony. Lastly, the 4th floor is the penthouse of the chateau, the most expensive room one can afford without a VIP certificate. By the picture in this brochure, it looks like one big chamber, probably for parties and other rich people things. After checking out all the rooms, Team Mario find a roof access point at the top of the penthouse. The roof here is the highest stable plateau before the final ascent. But it looks like the closing climb will be quite a trial. The apex of Pokey Peak does not meet at a single point like most mountains. Instead, the pinnacle bifurcates into 2 spires that each shoot up to dizzying heights. Also worth mentioning is that all of the exposed surfaces have frozen into solid ice at this extreme elevation. Not even fire powers can help dominate this wicked zenith. No. Come on, we've come all this way! No. Holy shat! There's a sick-looking slope up that side! I'm sledding that shat! Have fun. If you're playing as Luigi, then I guess he goes up with them. If not, then he sits this one out. Probably for the best. Luigi would be the one to fall off the mountain. Anyway, Toad was right. Of the spire that they could climb, the peak held in place would appear to be some sort of a ski slope. Whoever built this suicide slide, and for what reason, I have no idea. Toad gleefully goes first, the happiest we've seen him since he was evicting the residents of room 303. Screaming down the slope and soaring through the sharp, frigid air, Toad took a moment to appreciate the stunning beauty of the world he's found himself in. The view is like nothing before seen in the Mushroom Kingdom. He can see beyond Land's End from here. He can see forever. Toad then takes another moment to ponder where exactly his body was going to end up once freefall began. Toad now understands that this element was not properly accounted for before the jump. With all the grace of a huffin' puffin' in heat, Toad manages to stick the landing upon a near frictionless ledge suspended upon the opposing spire high above the chateau roof below. Barely a moment to collect his faculties, Mario and Toadette come barreling his way mid-air exactly where he's standing. Toad leaps up to the ledge above him, narrowly missing his friends who also have to scramble to juggle their positions without knocking one another down to the white abyss. All clear, the gang cautiously proceeds to climb the 2nd and final spire until they reach the ultimate peak of Pokey Peak. Upon returning to the atrium at the ground floor of Chateau Snow, the team organize their loot, as they do, before heading off to their next destination. Upon doing so, they realize that they've collected enough pink coins to get a VIP certificate. Unfortunately, the attendant behind the counter was fired. So Mario just walked behind the desk and grabbed the VIP key for himself. The rest was a formality. The walk down from the Pokey Peak region was welcomed by all. It was nice to thaw out and not always worry about safe footing. Returning to more temperate elevations, our heroes stride into an endless field of green, complete with hills and dips and flowers and vines everywhere. It's like if the whole world were a utopian garden, untouched by society. Alright Mario, I hate to admit it, but we've been up and down this continent and we still haven't found this legendary Monstro City yet. Maybe call it a wash? We still had a lot of fun here. I suppose. All I see from here is one more house. Where? Oh, I can see it. It's way out there, on the far edge of the continent. Wow, that's like a dot on the horizon. Good eye, Mario. Then it's one for the road, that we split out of here? Let's go. Mario and company begin their pleasant walk through the bejeweled sea of emerald flora. For a rare change in their journey, there seems to be no rush to get to the next destination. Before long, they reach a series of grassy valleys dipping in and out of the ground in semi-uniform waves. This goes on for quite a while. I knew this place looked too good to be true. Now we gotta hop and climb over these weird canyons if we want to get through. Do you guys smell that? Yeah, I do. I already took care of it in the Shat House. Lol, JK, it stinks like Goomba scum. Think it's coming from the mansion? No, it's too pungent. They're close. Guys, look below. The trees are moving and speaking in Coupese. Everyone down there, now! Easily climbing to the bottom of the vine-covered walls of the gully, the crew walks through a small tunnel, the end of which opens into a plaza of what can only be the elusive Monstro City. Sprawling out before our heroes are large buildings, tall towers, and vertical vents, all densely coated in vines and overgrowth. From the ground level of the plaza, it's hard to imagine how anyone ever missed this. But from above, it looks like nothing more than grassy ridges in the earth. In fact, it appears that every society in Monstro Land has been hidden to onlookers above. The mole colonies have concealed themselves in the cliffsides. The Spike civilization was obscured beneath the lake waters. The snow pokies were sheltered within a snow-covered mountain. And the denizens of Monstro City veiled themselves within endless fields of vegetation. It's no wonder everybody thought this place was empty. Is this... could it be? Monstro City. No way! It's actually real? Not gonna lie, brother. I didn't think this place still existed. Faith, brother. It was by divine providence that we find ourselves at the foot of the lost city of Monstro. Okay, we need to be responsible and archive everything here. Try to really remember what everything looked like, because we'll have to go by memory when we're writing the history books. Can't researchers just come back later and do it themselves? Well, legally, no. I'm pretty sure we're not even supposed to be here as it is. Also, it's going to be a lot harder for the researchers when they're left studying ash and rubble. Oh yeah, I almost forgot we're here to trash the place. Let's make this city lost for good. Monstro City is a dichotomy in its unique feel. Due to space restrictions, the architecture tends to be tall and tightly placed. Slightly claustrophobic, if you ask me. But with all of the greenery and flowers and mushrooms blanketing every square inch of the city, there's an extreme sense of coziness that can't be found anywhere else in the Mushroom Kingdom. Visuals aside, the city folk are all cheerful, peaceful, and kind. They know not war, nor outsiders, nor bigotry. A homogeneous society mixed with races from all corners of the world, the Monstros have built themselves a genuine utopia to call their own. And they've done a spectacular job hiding their presence from the peoples without. Well, that is, until now. You know why. I think they're starting to lock their doors on us. Awfully rude, if you ask me. You blow up one of their buildings, and now they act like we're the monsters. I think it was technically two so far. I broke open some sort of vent covering a pipe here. Leads down. Maybe they've got a secret underground Koopa society hiding beneath our feet. One by one, Team Mario dives down the pipe that leads... underground. Hey, I'm not trained to run a tour here. I'm just describing what I'm seeing. Anyway, the foursome now find themselves not in a secret underground Koopa society, but rather the Monstro City sewer system. Glorious. Why is there always a sewer level? Oh. Oh my. Great, we found the city's chateau. It smells like Galumba times 1000. I think I'm gonna hurl. A lone clump of... unknown matter slides out of a pipe in the ceiling with the sound of a grunting boar and lands in the waters level just below the group's feet with a heavy flopping splash. What would you do if I pushed you in? I'd drag you in with me, you little sticker star! Test me! Guys, I think the fumes are starting to get to us. Let's just figure out what we're supposed to be doing here, then get the hell out before we die of stinky butt gas. After running a repeating serpentine up to the city above and down to the sewers below, the exhausted team finally makes it to the far reaches of Monstro City. They take one last look back to appreciate their handiwork. What a renovation! From a verdant metropolis with birds singing in the air, to a burning wreckage with cacophonous screaming in the background, Team Mario sure went the extra mile for this job. The fires are starting to spread to the crew's position, so back up the wall of the canyon they go. After all, the vines they're climbing likely won't be around much longer. Away from the grassy knolls and on to the next destination, the abandoned Manor. Now, unlike our previous points of interest so far in Monstro Land, the abandoned Manor is the one habitable location whose presence was documented before all of our heroes' recent discoveries. You can't miss it. It's a large mansion out in the open on the northeastern corner of the continent. However, no activity was ever reported being seen there in all the years of observation. The lights are always off, and even the region's fauna have been seen to avoid the area. Could something dark and horrible have happened here a long, long time ago? Who knows? No, really, I don't think anyone knows much about this place at all. Well, we came to this mansion thinking it might be Monstro City or something. So, what is this place then? Back in the city, someone told me the manor had been abandoned for generations. You took a break to gossip? I had to get the scoop. Squeeze him for information while you got him. Good call, Toadette. Even still, I don't trust a word those vermin say. We're sweeping the manor. If they say it's abandoned, then you know it's probably packed to the rafters with creatures that never see the light of the sun. Ah, dessert so soon after dinner? Call me a glutton, but I am so down. The whistling winds of Fields Prior have faded. In fact, the area around the manor is deathly still. The grass doesn't sway, the wind is gone, and the birds are mute. Something is wrong here, but I can't put my finger on it. I almost hope we don't find out. Heavy are the solid oak doors that grind on old rusted hinges. The front door is unlocked, as if beckoning our heroes into its dusty interior. Once the last enters, the doors mysteriously slam shut on their own. Sticker Star! Those sons of Koopas locked us in here. This isn't good. Mario?
You think I'm trapped in here with you? No! You're trapped in here with me!
With only one direction to go, the gang makes their way down a heavily boarded up hallway leading into the main lobby of the manor. In fact, it appears that just about every available path has been boarded up and/or sealed with brick and mortar. Whatever is trapped here in the manor, somebody clearly didn't want it out. What irony, though. The manor has such a glamorous sense of beauty to it, despite its eerie atmosphere. While there is dirt and cobwebs everywhere, one can't help but to notice the ornate bookcases filled with exotic tomes, the lavish furniture sewn of the finest fabrics, and the detailed ornamentation in the woodwork throughout. One thing's for sure, whoever originally owned this massive manor must have been very wealthy in their time. As I gather it, the mansion is roughly divided into 2 floors containing 7 total chambers, a ground floor lobby, a second floor lobby, as well as an entrance foyer in the front and an exit foyer in the back. I say roughly because I suspect that spatial congruity may somehow be breaking down in this villa. The shapes of the rooms and corridors don't seem to fit together quite right. Judging by the interior exploration, I would imagine that the exterior of the mansion would look very different compared to the neat and symmetrical design we saw coming in. That might explain why the various chambers don't look like livable spaces and why certain sections of the floor are just outright missing. While technically not completely abandoned, it seems that the manor holds fairly true to its name. One may encounter the occasional infestation of creeping piranha plants or a roaming bully or two, but outside of that, the manor is bare. Mario and company scour every room to find the key that unlocks the back door of the manor and leave somewhat disappointed. We ran through that whole rat's nest only to kick out a few dirty squatters. Seems the manor was a bust after all. Told you so! Still, we got what we came here for. I think it's time to move on. Good. This whole estate's been giving me weird vibes. Me too! I think the city folks stayed away from this place for a reason. So what's next, Mario? Are we finally gonna stick it to Bowser? That's the plan. Hate to break it to you, Mario, but there's no Continental flight line on this side of Monstroland. So you're telling me we're trapped in this desolate wasteland that we can't even be legally saved from? Then what's that warp pipe cloud over there for? It says Continental Skyway. Maybe it's a newer line? Works for me. Let's hope this thing takes us close enough to Bowserland. As it turns out, Continental Flight and Continental Skyway are two completely different entities. Whereas the Flight Line is a leisurely cruise on a rail-guided platform that gently carries passengers from here to there, the Skyway is a raging roller coaster ride across a series of small platforms suspended in space by tiny clouds. There is no platform to ride on. You run, or you die. Luigi suffers a panic attack during the run, but manages to hold it together. At the end of the precarious track, the group finds another warp pipe cloud with a signature Bowser flag planted on its top. Unsure of what to expect, they all give each other a look of agreement, then enter in. The other side of the warp pipe dropped our heroes onto a lengthy span of asphalt and decorative lights. Heh, just our luck. The Skyway spit us onto the middle of Bowser Highway. As far as I know, this road's the one and only entryway into Bowserland. We can even take it all the way back home when we're done. This strip of blacktop's got nothing on my turnpike, you hear me? Nothing! Without wheels, we'll be playing real-life Frogger out here. I don't see any sidewalks for us. Fortunately, the warp pipe from earlier placed them all right next to a parking garage sidled off of the main highway. There, they found a handful of unattended vehicles with keys still in the ignition. From that point on, it was a speedy ride down the stretch of neon-lit road. Before long, the extravagant entrance to Bowserland could be seen. This is where my expertise as a tour guide starts kicking back in. Greeting all visitors to Bowserland is a giant statue of King Koopa's face, complete with a menacing grin, lava pouring out of the mouth, and sparks flying out of the ruby-red eyes. Truly an intimidating sight to behold to newcomers, but also a reminder of the strength and might of the kingdom they approach. Motorists are kindly reminded to carefully drive around the statue on the way into the kingdom. Constant collision repair wastes valuable time for highway maintenance crew as well as taxpayer money.